Hey Virgo, happy July 2017. Hope everybody is doing fantastic. This is Dark Dove Tarot. I'm going to give the cards a few more shuffles. As you know, I like to pre-shuffle, but I like to add a little more energy before we get started. Again, hope everybody is doing fantastic. This is for Virgo, July 2017. This is Dark Dove Tarot. Again, these readings are general. They focus on love, and as I said last month, they focus typically on singles and anybody looking to reconcile. I was doing relationship reads, but I tend to get a lot more feedback or interest from singles and anybody looking to reconcile. So I changed it up a little bit. Again, general, so check your sun, moon, and rising. Hopefully this resonates with everybody. But to get a little more clarity, it's always positive to check those signs as well. I move pretty fast, as I always say, because I have a lot to get out and I don't want to take up too much of your time. Any likes, subscribes, comments, etc. are appreciated. Private read, donation, information is all available in the special instructions. So let's get started here for Virgo, July 2017. And as you know, I always pre-shuffle like I said, but we add a little more energy, and I always start with the card coming into the month. So this is your state of mind or current position as you enter July, and you have the Knight of Coins. So the Knight of Coins, Virgo, here we are again. I think you've gotten this in quite a few reads. So you're hardworking, you're diligent. What are you escaping? What are you trying to avoid? Can't say that for all Virgos, but you've had some pretty positive readings. But this Knight tells me you're very diligent right now. You know, your heart's in it to win it in work. How's it going in your love life? I guess we'll see going forward. But coming in, the Knight of Coins is, you know, focused on hardworking. That doesn't mean that it can't be hard work on dating. But I'm getting the feeling that most of you singles are not really focused on dating, or if you are, you're just kind of blasé. You know, it's mundane. Maybe you're going on a date here, maybe you're going on a date there, maybe you're missing somebody. Maybe there are some of you still looking to reconcile. I know it comes up a lot, and I always get a lot of emails from people who are pissed about it because they say, you know, it's not me, it's them, and I shouldn't have to go after them, and, you know, I've tried it, and I get it. I totally understand. I'm not saying you're fully responsible for the relationship or anything along those lines. And I'm not saying you don't deserve somebody chasing you and whatever the case may be. But Virgo, I have really close friends that are Virgo. I've dated Virgos. And I know a lot about the intricate workings. Virgos are some of my favorite people. But that does not mean that when things get tough or if things aren't going your way, sometimes you hide behind work. Because that's what you know. You're good at making money. You're good at being diligent. You're good at taking care of business. You're good at responsibility. But you're also good at hiding your emotions, or, you know, if maybe you've been in a past relationship and you're wondering about reconciling with that person, you know, you'll let it kind of linger for months and months if need be before you approach the situation again. So, in other words, you can be stubborn, just like many of us can be. You just don't like to hear it that much. So again, this tells me that a lot of you are being cautious. So I see several of you who are single, who are dating, but maybe recently you've had a few dates that have tripped you up. Maybe they've put you back, you know, to not wanting to really, you know, let yourself get hurt or open your heart. This also tells me that, you know, for singles, you're, again, hyper-focused on doing the diligent work. And maybe you are doing that with dating too, but it's like you're not letting yourself go. And we talk about that a lot. This also tells me if you're looking to reconcile that maybe you're avoiding that, or maybe, you know, this person from your past, something came in. This tells me that maybe you saw something, like you saw that they were single again, or you saw that they were on a dating website again. Something tells me that some of you had some sort of like aha moment recently, and now you're going, wait, maybe now's my chance. But you're working really hard, keeping your head down. You don't want to get into too much emotion or, you know, You're not feeling very lovey-dovey, it doesn't feel like, coming into July. The next card you have is always feelings or challenges that either help or hinder the Knight of Coins, and you have the Page of Coins. So of course you do, because that's about being responsible and being pragmatic. You're still aspiring for things, and you still want love, but this is very very diligent, like the Knight is, Virgo. So I'm interested to see how the rest of this plays out, because I'm not faulting you for that at all, and I don't think it's negative by any means. In fact, it makes me giggle a little bit, because you just really are good workers, whereas some of us who have different signs maybe lead with the heart, and so not that work takes a second seat, but just that love and emotion can kind of come in and rile us up at work, whereas you're very diligent you're able to focus on work and taking care of responsibilities. Now, to be fair, this could be that some of you are spending more time with your kids. Here in the U.S., it's summer, obviously, so maybe kids are out, and so you're spending more time with your kids. And if that's the case, then all for it. That's what you need to do. Should be your utmost responsibility. But for singles, this tells me that a lot of you're being practical, which is great. We know you're practical. You are aspiring for things, though. The page tells me that you haven't given up. You're still wanting something. You're still wanting that person. You're still wanting the one. You're still wanting to plant that seed with somebody. And you're aspiring by working, hopefully being diligent enough to really, impress somebody. So let's see what the rest of the read has to say. So the next card you have is the past, which, as you know, this is a distant past, so over the past few years, or it could be, 10 years. And you have the Knight of Swords. So I've been explaining to a lot of signs lately the reason I bring this card in, and everybody kind of is like, well, why would the past come up in every read? I mean, and it's always different. So the past card and that position is very important, because that can tell us what is bringing you into the month that way, or what is affecting your outcome. These are different feelings or different situations that have happened to everybody that may have reignited this month because of something you've seen, or something you've heard, or something you've done. Sometimes it's going to be a tragic past card. Sometimes it's going to be a nice past card. Maybe you're reminiscing on something positive. This one, the Knight of Swords, is actually, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not wonderful. This is about hostility. So maybe something happened in the past, few weeks or past month or two. And so you're coming in here working very diligently and kind of keeping a low profile, and not, finding a plethora of suitors, or not looking for a plethora of dates, because you're feeling this hostility. You're feeling this confrontation. So all of a sudden I'm starting to think that maybe for the people looking to reconcile, it's becoming all of you, including singles, because I get this feeling that something struck you coming into July. You've seen something, you've heard something, you know about something. Maybe you found out somebody was single that you thought was lost forever. Or maybe you haven't heard nothing for months and months, and now all of a sudden you're hearing from them. And this card, the Knight, is coming back in as just like almost, a stabbing feeling. Like you're feeling like you were confronted, and maybe you have been confronted recently, or maybe, there was a complete ending. Or maybe you've just been dating as a single person a lot of people, and you're feeling this Knight floating in on whoever it is you're meeting. You're feeling this hostility. You're feeling like, gosh, like the people I'm meeting are exactly like the people I'm trying to get over, are exactly like the people I left in the past. This Knight of Wands is somebody that was harsh, or that you were harsh with. This was somebody that, there was a lot of confrontation, a lot of fighting, a lot of back and forth. You guys cut each other, stabbed at each other little by little, and a lot of hostility. So whatever this is, this fighting, maybe the people you're finding now, or that you're dating now, are raising all these red flags, because they're exactly like, this person who cut you so deeply, and that you cut too. Virgo, usually I can tell whether it's you that's done the cutting or they've done the cutting, but this card tells me that, the feelings that are coming up for this month from, the past, is that, you've been cut just as bad as you've cut. And so you're kind of feeling pain, but you're also realizing the pain that you've dealt. But this month, feels more like you're feeling the pain that you were dished out instead of Virgo always being to blame or whatnot. So I get the sense maybe you're kind of standoffish with people because you just don't want to go through that shit again. And you're like, I'm not doing this. I've been through this. And again, this goes for singles and anybody looking to reconcile. I feel like you're both kind of like, all right, well, I'll date. Well, I'll do the minimal. Like, I don't want to be alone forever, and I don't want to feel like crap, and I don't want to be totally lonely, but I'm not giving my heart to anybody. Are you crazy? These people are exactly the same as, as the crap that I met before when I thought I was serious about somebody. So let's see what else we have going for us. The next card you have is the most recent past. So over the past few weeks, maybe the past month or two, and you have the Three of Coins. So the Three of Coins is about accomplishment, teamwork, satisfaction. So again, kind of telling me that the past few weeks you have been putting a lot of energy into work, making things happen. This could be, I'm getting like Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts for some of you. So for some of you, you are more putting the work and time into kids that you're seeing more because of the summer. And you're feeling really good about all aspects. And, it feels like you have been dating a little bit. And maybe you're feeling a little better about it the past few weeks. But then for some reason, you're coming into July kind of squashing it. So I feel like there's something that maybe you felt good about in May or June. You were feeling good. You were thinking maybe I'm on the right track, and it didn't happen. But we've talked in the past, like, I don't think it's going to be immediate that all of a sudden it's like, ding, 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 this is the love of my life, and we're running off to altar tomorrow. I think for Virgo this year in 2017, it is going to be your year, but it's going to take time and patience. And I know that you guys have heard that over and over about taking time and patience. But listen, last year it was more like, the dooms of fire and chaos, and like, this was not your time. And now this year it really is. So I think some of you are excited because you can almost feel it too, but you're like overly anxious to get there. And I totally understand that. This is all about teamwork too. So for some of you, maybe you have been in contact with your ex or have had communication with somebody that you value who's really important, and you're trying to make it work. The three roses here symbolize to me a little bit that maybe some of you went through a pretty bad divorce at some point or are separated, and you're kind of holding it together as a mom and a dad and kids to keep things, you're working together as a team and assisting each other instead of fighting each other, which, maybe part of the reason you're not dating or you haven't been in the dating mood so much is not necessarily, and some of you may want your ex back, your ex that maybe you were going to divorce or that you have kids with or whatever the case may be, or maybe you just had, a joint family and you're trying to let the kids be okay communicating and, and still being together even though you're not. But this takes a lot of time, and for the summer it kind of just seems like a lot of you are like, okay, we got to do this together, we got to work together. So, and you're going to be satisfied, with the outcome as far as your teamwork and efforts, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of room for love the past month or so. So again, I get the sense of a lot of graduations, a lot of summertime, that dating kind of took the back seat, but now you're ready or you want to, and you have this, like openness about it, but you're not really doing it because you're just going to focus on work and working really hard. So the next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, throughout the end of the year, and you have the Nine of Swords. All right, so this card is not what I want to see for your distant future, so I'm probably going to pull a clarifying card, so I'll get that ready and shuffle these. But the Nine of Swords is about fear or depression. So this tells me that a lot of you are fearing something. Maybe you haven't found what you wanted and you had that anxiety of meeting somebody, or you thought that you'd met somebody and maybe you've taken a couple wrong turns or a few false starts, and some of you are slipping back into what if this doesn't get better, or what if I don't find somebody, or into some sort of depression. Or maybe you did realize recently you got some information I'm going to pull a clarifying card for that. Okay, and you have the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so that tells me a lot. So the Nine of Swords, again, is saddening. I mean, that makes me, worry a little bit, and the fact that you're going to introvert back into yourself, and you're going to hide out in these work spots and places that you know that you're comfortable with. So I think that some of you, even though you've been single for a long time, you got wind of maybe somebody getting married, somebody having kids, something going on, and you kind of feel like you were left out in the cold, and why not me, and what's wrong with me, and what's going on with me. Don't slip into that. Like I tell you with the Ten of Swords, any sign I get with the Ten of Swords, I say the same thing with the Nine of Swords. Don't let that ugly hand crush you. You've heard me say that a million times. Don't, because this is future. You can change it. This doesn't have to be that way. This is telling me mainly this is almost internal. Like this is a fear you have. And so the Wheel of Fortune is the perfect card to clarify this, because the Wheel of Fortune is saying, look, the wheels are turning. So yes, you might be upset now, or maybe you're not feeling great about your dating life, or maybe you had some false starts and you really had hope and now you're feeling crushed. Maybe you open your heart up to people and it just hasn't gone the way you thought it would go. Or maybe you did hear your ex is getting married or whatever. So what? Like, you know what? There's somebody out there for you too. And as much as it hurts, and I've been there, and that's, the 9 represents, a crushing, like almost strangling, can't breathe pain. And I get that. And it sucks. And it's terrifying and it's excruciating. But you don't have to live that way, and you don't have to let that continue. And the wheel is telling me that it's going to be up and down. So you might be feeling that way now, but over the next, few months, the wheel is saying it's going to be like ebb and flow. So we'll see what the rest of the read says, but this tells me that, yeah, there's going to be some ups and downs over the next few months. But I almost feel like if you continue this and not giving yourself a chance and not taking the risk again of dating or putting yourself out there no matter what happened, or believing that this is all you're going to find, or those are the only type of people you're going to meet, then yes, the 9 of Swords will linger. You will have depression, anxiety, you will have fear, and you will introvert again. I think that if you're able to be this wheel and change it, feel the emotions, but then change it up, you're going to be just fine. So let's see, the next card you have is always the immediate future. So what you're going to have over the next few weeks. And you have the King of Coins. So that's right here and right here and right here and right here, because it's like 4 coins. And so the King of Coins is about business, stability, wealth, being confident in the business world. So all right, Virgo, I get the sense that you're not feeling the dating right now, or you're just not, if you are dating, you're not feeling like you're finding what you want. None of this is negative though, because like I said, I mean, I may tease you like, oh, okay, what's going on, Virgo? You're hiding behind work again, and I get that. But maybe you have to get to that place in order to not get to this place, in order to not be the 9 of Swords. So it's going to be like up and down. It's going to be like, I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to kind of stick my head into dating. If something sparks, great. If it doesn't, no worries, no loss. And we go back to making money and doing great things. Maybe it's promotions. Maybe all of this is going to transpire into when you do meet somebody amazing, you're so stable that they just don't even know what to say, because they're not used to somebody being that stable. Again, this is about stability and wealth. So this tells me over the next, few weeks that you're going to have promotions. You're going to take vacations. Maybe you're taking your kids on vacation. You're spending a lot more time being practical and making good decisions and being responsible, which is excellent. There's nothing wrong with that. But this read definitely isn't telling me that a lot of you are putting that, heart into it, or that emotion. There's been no cards that are really, striking as emotion, except for your distant past and, the distant future. So again, nothing wrong with that, but I think that you kind of feel like you're at your best, and you feel like you could be with somebody and take care of somebody the most when you're feeling diligent in work and business. And this also tells me that maybe the past few months you let a lot of that go. And even though we talked about like showing your emotional side, you did show your emotional side, but maybe you let go of other things like responsibilities, or maybe that's how you feel. Maybe you didn't really necessarily, but you just didn't feel like yourself, and so you're kind of making up for lost time. For very few of you, I feel like maybe you did make the decision to like move in together or something like that, get married, and so this is you being very diligent. But again, in that, I heed the caution of do that with love and attention for your partner and who you want to be with. The next card you have, it's going to be future external factors. So anything throughout June that could affect you tangibly. And you have temperance. So this tells me that you're going to be, you're compromising. So if you are looking to reconcile with somebody, that jumps out at me first saying, okay, maybe you have been in contact with a lot of people, and maybe a lot of Virgos that are single this month are feeling more like they're looking to reconcile because you've been letting it go and letting yourself go. And again, I feel like something struck you in June or the beginning of July that just kind of said, hey, you know, I'm like, whoa, there they are again. Maybe they contacted you. Maybe they finally responded to what you wanted, and you're just like shit-eating grin, but now you're not sure because now you're going, whoa, I wanted this, and now I don't know if I really want it, or how do we make it work? And so you're sticking your head into the hard work again. The moderation, this is about moderation, balance, compromise. So if you are looking to reconcile, and you have been in contact, this tells me that you're working on compromises and you're working on, so you may not be focused on dating or doing anything like that because this is the person you want and you're finding contact with them, but you've got to figure out how you're going to make it work, how you're going to balance everything. I think this also tells me that you're going to have to take a break. Like, work's not going to let you work, 100 hours a week. So you're all of a sudden going to be like, all right, well, I put in this hard work. Now I want to have some fun. Now I want to date. And so externally and everything around you is going to be kind of like, okay, well, guess what? We have holidays coming up, the 4th of July. And, maybe some of you have the Monday off before that. And so you're like, there's just going to be extra time that you're just not going to be able to work yourself into a tizzy, and you're going to have to step out and do something fun or enjoy yourself. And again, I don't think anybody's out there like suffering from workaholism, although some of you probably are. But, it's not like I don't think any of you are taking time out for yourselves necessarily, because I'm not getting any cards that are representing you, like could be sick or ill or like, mentally have a lot of issues or like whatever. But more along the lines of you're taking care of the responsibilities and not really letting loose. You're still doing that a little bit, but you're doing it like solo, or you're doing it with friends, even though a lot of you, I feel like, are yearning for that person. The next card you have is going to be future internal factors. So anything that you're feeling or hoping throughout July, and you have the 2 of Cups. All right, so this tells me exactly that. You want this. This is connection, deep connection. This is almost better than the Lover's card, because the Lover's card is a great card and it is about lovers, but it can be about short-term love, it can be about lust, it can be whatever. The 2 of Cups is about intimacy, attraction. Again, like I said, a deep connection. So you're yearning for something. You really want that. So either you want that with the person that you're starting to talk to again, that you've all of a sudden, come back into contact with and you're trying to compromise with, and you can feel it again, you want that, or you just want something special and you're taking a break because whatever the shit is that you're meeting online or whatever, and I shouldn't say shit is, because we're human beings and that's not very fair, but I've been there, felt that, and understand it completely. So I think you're kind of like, I know what I want, so I'm going to work really hard and I'll find it eventually. My only fear with this is make sure that you're not waiting for it to sit on your lap. And I know that or to fall into your lap, because I said sit on your lap, that kind of sounds frisky, but literally, I know what it's like to be like, I've given up, and and I don't really care. So, if it comes, it comes, and if it doesn't, I'm not spending any more energy on it. And I kind of feel like that's how you are a little bit. You're feeling a little defeated. Maybe you've had some really high times the past few months. Like you've had really high highs, if that makes sense, and some really low lows. And the highs have led you to believe that there's something special out there. And now you're just kind of like, there is, but I'm waiting. And some of you who are kind of looking to reconcile, I just get the feeling that you're just being patient and waiting it out. It's almost like, if you're patient and you just give it time, you'll have this. You know what you want. And some of you who are dating, you know what you want as well, and you're just focusing on the summer and work and kids or whatever the case may be, and you're kind of like, I'm not going to focus so much energy into it because, you know, if I just go with the flow, it will come. And again, it will. You know, they say when you're not looking, it will come to you, and I don't always believe that because, I mean, I took a year or two off of dating anybody and it never came to me. And it's not like I locked myself in my house and did nothing. So, you know, I get that. But this definitely tells me that you want a connection and you just haven't felt it. You're just not getting it, or you've been kind of feeling defeated by the people that you've met. The last two cards you have are always your hopes and fears and then the outcome of the month. So the hopes and fears are the Eight of Swords, and this tells me a lot, Virgo. And your outcome is the Four of Swords. All right, so very interesting. You have a lot of swords. You have a lot of swords and a lot of coins. All right, so the Eight of Swords this is your hand holding you back. So you're holding your back from something. So again, I'm going to get a lot of crap. I already know from people who are going to say, I don't want to go after anybody, blah, 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 blah. If you got notion that somebody you truly love and want to be with is free and not committed, or maybe they've reached out to you and you were stubborn, or maybe whatever the case may be, if there's somebody out there that you really like and you've got the go ahead, or you've got the green light, or you found out they're not seeing anybody, or you found out they miss you, or whatever the case is, go for it. If you don't go for it now, I don't want to hear about it later. That's, you know, I feel like I'm a mom, and so I feel like I'm saying that to my kid. It's kind of like, you can't complain about it if you don't do anything about it, right? It's like voting or whatever else. Don't complain about it if you're not going to be a part of it. So the Eight of Swords is your self-doubt. You're imprisoning yourself. This is about confusion or trying to control the situation. If you have already been in connection or contact with a person that you miss or love or whatnot, just let it. Don't try and control it. Don't expect any particular answers. Don't just lay what you want out on the table. See what they have to say. And if it sounds good, it sounds good. And if you guys reconcile, by all means, don't go into he said, she said, you did this to me, you did that to me. If that's the way you're going to play it, or if that's the way they're going to play it, just cut your losses and run. Because lately I'm hearing it from all signs. I've experienced it in my own life. Like, don't just cut your losses and run. You deserve the best. And the thing with Virgo that I've realized is you work really hard and you're really good people and you do deserve the best, just like everybody else. But you want to be the best for everybody, and you're just not right for everybody. Just like not everybody is right for you. So it has nothing to do with Virgos not being right for some people. It's people in general are not always right for people. But Virgos want to believe that with hard work and dedication and being these great, honest, loyal people, that they should be good for everybody. And they're not, because some people want assholes. So let's just face it. Some people want to be treated badly, and some people don't want to be taken care of, and some people, whatever the case may be. So you're not going to be perfect for everybody. You've got to let that go. And if at this point, if the person's not treating you well, or it's not in synchronicity where you want to be, then cut your ties and run, because you're holding yourself back. So you're either holding yourself back from like finding this moderation and balance with the person you love and want to be with, or you're holding yourself back from cutting ties and finding the person that's going to be perfect for you. So this 8 is all about you holding yourself back, having self-doubt, confusing yourself throughout the month. So you've got to realize that too. If there's a good opportunity in front of you, take it. By all means, take it. Just do it. The Four of Swords is about rest and exhaustion. So even though I was saying that, you know, the King is telling me that, and Temperance is telling me that you're not necessarily like overwhelmed or exhausted, or that you're working so much that you're not taking care of yourself. The 4 is telling me by the end of July, you may be feeling that way. So by the end of July, you may be feeling like, hey, I need some rest. I need to relax. I need to recuperate. I've now dove headfirst into work again, and I want this love. And I need to rest and figure out what to do, because every time things don't go my way love-wise, I can't overwhelm myself at work, and I can't take on too much responsibility. And this could also be it's summer and you've got the kids around, or you're seeing your kids more, or whatever the case may be. But This is definitely somebody who has given their all. And again, I think it's hyper focused on diligent responsibility, you know, and now you need to take that rest. And I think that that's going to help you decide that you're ready to meet some amazing people and you're ready to get back on the horse, even though maybe there's been some crap out there lately, or maybe you're not going to hold yourself back and you're going to go get that person because you got that notion, whatever it is that I'm feeling. You got some inside information, you found out more about them, whatever the case is. Virgo, this doesn't make me worried at all. Like, I don't see you slipping back into 2016 where things were negative. I think this month is just tripping you up, or the past, month or so, something has tripped you up a little bit, and you've got to, you got to just go for it. Go with your gut of what you know you want and what you deserve. Work hard, but take care of yourself too. Get this rest and recuperation at the end of July. Don't hold yourself back, regardless of whether it's going with an ex or whether it's meeting new people at the end of July or throughout July, because temperance is compromise, moderation, balance as well. Realize that you're going to work hard, but take time for you and really figure out what this is. This is all of everything that's in your head throughout the month and everything you want, and this is beautiful. So focus on this. Don't become introverted or worried. This wheel is going to turn, so it might be up and down, but there's always going to be an up when there's a down. Find this, and then we'll reconvene in August and see what's going on and see, where you come after that. I don't think this is going to destroy you, Virgo. I just think it's going to be a hiccup. Okay? Take care. Can't wait to see you next month. Bye.